Tapos na.
Short nga.
Every time I get asked to talk this time, they make an emphasis on short. Anyway, there was a conference I attended that was organized by some of our faculty. It's focused anyway, it's a conference of people whose interest is language learning. And in that conference, they talked about, to me, although I was exposed to language studies, this is the first time that I was hearing a very different type of discourse because it was all very technology related. Okay? So it still was about language. But language now was being broken into its component parts. There's the phoneme, that's the symbol. There's the phonetics. There's the system of pronunciation. But those are only some of the technical parts of speech. Now, they're looking at enunciation. They're looking at pauses. They're looking at phrasing. They're looking at how different cultures adapt language to their uses. And there are many things that go into an analysis of language. And this is all driven by technology because of language learning technology. Before, when you had to learn a language, you went to school and you had a tutor. Now, you can get an app and you can study a language by yourself, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Annyeonghaseyo.
And the more sophisticated the app, the course itself will guide you as if you had a built-in teacher. Say, pronounce this word. It says, wrong, not correct, say it again, etc. Okay? Now, I was amused a little bit by this, but at the same time intrigued because so much time and analysis is spent precisely on looking at human communication and rendering it more technologically possible to achieve literacy in non-conventional ways. In a certain sense, in a very real sense, all education is about literacy. And I will go back to that theme over and over again. It is learning. It's learning to speak. It's learning how to interpret the world through numbers. It's learning how to navigate the world. And evidently, at the Montessori, you have very, very special groups that require very different technologies in order to learn about themselves, learn how to relate with other people, learn how to navigate the world. But basically, you can say it all goes down to very simple words. When you look at sacred scripture, you're told that it is God's word in human words. God spoke, and human beings tried to repeat or explain or interpret or communicate what they thought God was saying. And that is what you will find even in the prologue of St. John when he says, God spoke and creation began. God spoke and history was made. But when history was made, it needed to be interpreted. This is why we need moments like tonight when we pause, when we sum up what has occurred to us, when we try to draw meaning and significance and try to distill what it is telling us for the next step beyond. When God spoke, He spoke many words, as you know, and they were all written down in the scriptural books. But as the prophets and the evangelists said, when God realized that much of what He was saying was not making sense, that people were having difficulty understanding or even grasping, so what did He do? He said, I will speak my final word. Except that the word was not words as we understand words. This time,
The word
The
became
word.
flesh.
became flesh.
Wow.
The word became a human being. And that human being became the word that spoke many words that up to today we're still trying to digest. Ultimately, and this is what you will find, what do we use words for? We use words in order to explore our world. But as you find in your own educational endeavor, the words that really matter, that help us eventually, are the words that help us relate. It's the words that we exchange with each other that create stories, that create meaning, that build relationships, that create life. That is the meaning of Christmas. The Word became flesh. He dwelt among us. And our task is to rejoice that God finally found a way to speak to us. He speaks to us in everyone. So, when we understand that we are gifts to one another, then Christmas really begins to make sense. Be gifts to one another then today and the days ahead. Merry Christmas to all of you. Thank you very much for that wonderful message.